The whole process of evolution, where you transform from being the patient to the physician. There was a time that you were the patient and you thought your life was a mess. You thought your life was a wreck. You thought it was over for you. People now looking at you and they were having pity on you. But today, you have become the physician. You become the physician. And now you know the reason why you went through that process in the first place. You see, let me tell you something, beloved. There are times, beloved, times that what makes you good in your field of study, i.e. a nurse, a care provider, or a medical doctor, what makes you good in that field of study is not because of the education. It's not because of the education or the degree you obtained. Based on that profession, not your degree, but rather your experience, your personal experience. Am I making sense to you? So sometimes the training is not complete without the experience, the practical experience. And there is no better practical experience than the one you have to undergo yourself, not the one you learn from somebody else's experience. Am I making sense to you? Nobody can tell the story better. Nobody can explain how it is better than the one who actually went through the situation. Shout a glorious hallelujah. This morning, like I said, we are exploring the whole process of evolution, where you transform from seeing yourself through one microscopic incident that happened in your life, one trauma, one bitter experience, divorce, abandonment, accident. And because of this incident, not only you, but everyone around have been looking at you and looking at your life, and they're saying, what a mess. They are looking at your life as a mess. You yourself, you are looking at your life as a mess. You've lost your confidence in the society. You can't walk with your head high anymore because you feel that others who things have been perfect for so far, they've had the perfect marriage, they've had the perfect job, they've had the perfect family, everything has been going well for them, they have perfect health. You look at them and you say to yourself, they are far better than you. And they also are looking at you and say, you are not in our class. But one thing you don't understand, beloved, one thing you fail to put into congregation is that God is making a message out of what you call a mess. One thing your persecutors, one thing those who are looking at you, one thing those who are married and are looking at you are not married and look at your age. One thing those who have children and looking at you don't have a child and looking at you. One thing they don't understand, one thing you yourself don't understand is that God is making a message out of what you call a mess. Tell somebody it's not a mess. I tell people from time to time, if you look at my life and you say what a mess, then what you are doing, beloved, is that you are allowing what you call a mess to fool you. Am I making sense to you? Tell your neighbor, don't allow the mess to fool you. When God makes a message out of your mess. You see, I want to talk to you about this message this morning because I see too many people in church, because of their situation, because of their circumstances, because of their background, looking down on themselves and saying to themselves, my life is a mess. I'm just a mess. I'm no better than my parents. Look at the way I am. Look at everybody. That's why everybody look down at me. That's why they talk down at me. I keep telling you, beloved, sometimes it's not about how people see you, but how you see yourself. Oh my goodness. How do I say this now? How do I say this now? It is not people's interpretation of your situation that counts, but your own interpretation of your situation. How do you interpret your situation? Do you interpret it as if it's over? Or you interpret it as if it's just a work in progress? Am I making sense to you this morning? So is that someone is looking down at you because of what they call a mess or the mess in your life? Yes, it's a mess. And even yourself, you are depressed and looking at yourself because of the issues and the things that you are going through in life. A lot of times when you are looking down at yourself and people try to cancel you, you know, it's amazing, beloved, that when things are rough for you, when things are down for you, when things are not working the way it's supposed to work, almost everybody has something to say as a form of advice or the other. Am I right? People that under normal circumstances would not even have had access to you, they want to offer advice about my own share of that kind of situation, whereby everybody will now come to me, Pastor, I just want to advise you. Because of the mess in my life. Are you following me? And then you say, if not for what has happened. Everybody suddenly have mouth to talk. They want to cancel you. Some come in from outside, they want to encourage you, but they just want to talk to you. They see it as an opportunity now to have their own pound of flesh. And then you just feel so sad. It's not your fault. Well, if you are in that situation like I once was, I used to be in that situation, but I didn't know what I know now. You are lucky now. Because through my experience, I'm able to become the physician. I was once the patient, but I'm now the physician. Teaching those who went through what I'm going through, who are going through what I went through, on how to heal. Am I making sense to you? Yes, glory be to the name of God. As you will eventually be after today. From being the patient to the physician. Are you following me this morning? You see, you've been passing through a situation where you're looking down at yourself and people are looking at you, and they are saying to you, your life is full of a mess. Your life is just a mess. But one thing they don't know, and one thing you yourself don't know, is that God is making a message out of your mess. Like I told you, I found it very interesting that when you're going through stuff, everybody feels that they have the right to advise you. People who, under normal circumstances, should not even open their mouth to talk to you. They believe they have something to contribute. People who are not tested trials, who have no idea of what you are going through, yet they want to advise you. When you have problems in your marriage, people who have not been married will want to come and advise you. When you have problem in your marriage, when you are married to a troublesome wife, or you are married to a mean man, people who have had everything easy, who God has given them their own bone of bone or rib of whatever it is, and I've had it very easy, but I've had submissive wife or understanding husband, because of the way it's been with them, they now say, hey, but you see, can I offer you one advice? You see, when it comes to woman, when it comes to man, because they now believe just because things are working for them, things are doing right for them, they're in a position to advise you. Meanwhile, if they were the one in your shoes, probably they would not even last 1 year. Am I making sense to you? They are in the church. There are plenty in the church. Are you following me? Brother Felix, please, after service, I would like to see you with an attitude. See me after service. What is it? Are you my pastor? The way they would even say it. Then after service, you go and say, hey, brother, what do you say you want? Sit down. How do I know? I told you that I went through the experience. Then you sit down. You see, I just want to tell you, I'm a man like you. And you know, I'm a married man, I know what I'm talking about. The way you have just been, it is not your fault. Are you following me this morning? People who have not even tested marriage. People who don't know what it is to be married to an Igbo man or a Yoruba man. To be married to a Delta man. To be married to an Ijaw man. Because every culture have their own peculiarities. Am I making sense to you? And so they think they can open their mouth and talk to you. I want to advise you. Even you yourself, I've noticed you have too many friends. Even you yourself, when you also, maybe those friends are the ones that put sanity in her head that they don't allow her to go crazy. After the man has finished dealing with her, and they are telling her, get rid of that friend. And you say, have you heard of the word isolate and destroy? Get rid of everybody around you so that I can finish you up. And that's the campaign that the man is campaigning. That's the campaign the woman is campaigning. And he says, because of the friends, because of this, because of that. And then you who don't know the genesis of the story, who have never even been married, who don't know what it is, you marry a complicated man, a difficult man, an impossible man. You know, there are people that when you see them outside, they appear like an angel. But inside the house, they are devils. And it's only that one that's living with them that knows. That's something I want you to know what I'm talking about. You know that I will tell you the truth. You see, most singles, for whatsoever reason, one thing that baffles me is that for whatsoever reason, they think that marriage is a bed of roses. And even when you are talking, when somebody says, that is your own, my own is not going to be like that. Glory be to the name of God. Some of the greatest lessons you will learn in life, some of the greatest lessons you will ever learn in life, you will learn when you are married. There are some lessons you can never learn until you marry. So, be patient. Very soon it will be your turn. Then we shall be waiting and see how you play your expertise. That thing that you say you know how to do. Maybe you know your own is, you can never, your husband will always be, but that we shall see. Very soon we will see. Am I making sense to you this morning? Two nurses. I had an experience with two nurses when my mom was ill. She was in the hospital, and there was this particular nurse that was first assigned to her, and all of us were against her because she was always, we felt she was heartless. Can't you just handle this one carefully? She said she's in pain. He said, but she said she's in pain. Busola once told me that her late dad, is someone that likes to kera. He likes to, Busola Sami, Busola Womi, Orumio, Sterimio. You are like this, you are always like this. But when she fell ill, herself, and I went to visit her in the hospital, the word that came out from the mouth of the mother is, so I'm wondering, I thought this was what you said about your father. What am I trying to say? Until you find yourself in that situation, you can never understand what the other person is going through. Am I making sense to you? I'm right. So we protested. We said we don't want this nurse again. They should change that. So they gave her another nurse. And this nurse, she was like an angel. The way she would handle that, so we said, the same training you people went through. How come you are different? And she said, there are some things you cannot know how to do except you go through the experience. She said exactly what went wrong with my mom, what my mother was going through at that time, that she herself went through it. And so she understands. If she says my back, or my leg, or sitting like this, she understands everything. So even before she opens her mouth to say how she be shifted, she already know which way to shift her. There are some things you don't get out of the book, but rather through experience. Am I making sense to you? Attend all the single seminars you like. Read all the books about marriage. There are still some things you can never understand or learn until you enter into it. Because the truth of the matter is that there is no book that reads specifically about the man or woman you want to marry. All he will just give you is a general. Shout a glorious hallelujah. So I'm asking myself this morning, and I'm asking you this morning, is it possible that God allowed you, or God is allowing you to go through certain things right now, or going through certain experience, so that when you come out of that situation that you are passing through, you will be a blessing to somebody in future? What you call a mess, is it possible that God is allowing it to happen in your life so that you can eventually become a blessing in the life of someone in future? But today it's a mess. So that nurse that became a blessing to my mother, when she was in that situation, she said her life was in a mess. To her, it was a mess. But she transformed from being the patient now to the physician. Because of what she called a mess. Am I making sense to you? If you remember the prayer I always pray for you at the end of the service, I said to you that you have lives to change that are waiting for your arrival. There are some lives out there that are waiting for you to change. But perhaps the experience you are going through right now is what is needed to be able to make the effective change in the lives of those that are waiting for you. So you have to pass through this stage for you to become useful to them tomorrow. Am I making sense to you? Is it possible that your destiny incorporates the place of your agony? That there is no way you can fulfill destiny, there is no way you can become useful for what God has created you for without passing this through this process of what you call agony, mess, pain. What I'm trying to say, beloved, is this: your path to fulfilling destiny also involves or includes you passing through the streets of agony. You cannot get to fulfill your destiny without passing through that street of agony. Everyone I have ever known that has been instrumental to changing many lives are those who have gone through one challenging situations in their life at one point in time or the other. Am I making sense to you? And yet, against all odds, they managed to succeed in life. And because of the experiences that they've gained, they have enough motivation to convince those who are going through that similar situation right now that they can still make it regardless of the challenges or obstacles that they are passing through right now. Am I making sense to you? Why? Because they've passed through that situation, they've experienced it already. They've gone through the same troubled times, through the trials, through the pains of having to survive without no one, without no father, without no mother, without no help. They have lived lives that most people never imagined that can be lived or anybody can survive. And so today, they use their experience with confidence to motivate others and tell them it is possible. But when they were passing through that situation, they called it a mess. These are the real life warriors. People who can relate with what you are going through because they've gone through the fire. Are you following me this morning? Sometimes I believe that God allows things to happen in my life so that I can be a blessing to many people. Sometimes I ask myself, if things never went wrong for me, if things have been so perfect for me, I don't think I can be a very good servant of God. I really don't think I will have the patience to understand and appreciate someone's wrong, because I'll just say, how can you? Am I making sense to you? You see, you need to have gone through a situation whereby you do things that you never planned to do in your life, but somehow it happened that you end up doing it, and you don't know how you ended up doing it, but you ended up doing it. For you to understand, when somebody else makes that kind of mistake or find yourself in that kind of situation, that it is possible. Because if it never happened to you, and somebody now does something and say, but this is not what I want to, I don't even know how I did it, you say it's a lie. Are you not in control of your faculty? Apostle Paul said, the things I do are not the things I want to do. The things I want to do are not the things I'm doing. So sometimes for someone like Apostle Paul, he will have understanding and be able to appreciate the problem of the flesh, because he went through it. At the end of the day, he had to say to himself, thank God I made it at last. Am I making sense to you? He understands that life is a struggle. To live a righteous life is a struggle. These people, beloved, people who have gone through the pain of divorce, through the pain of emotional trauma, roller coaster of depression, shame, disgrace, they have experienced the feelings of being condemned or being looked down at by people. Am Am I making sense to you? There is nothing like a personal experience. Nothing like a personal experience. When Amaka was lying on the hospital bed, when she was going through her pain, when she was going through her situation, when cancer was hitting her below the belt, she would look at herself, she would look at her conscience and say, look at how my life has become a mess. I can't even do anything by myself. I can't even carry this. I can't even do that. Am I the one that has not become like this? I've not become somebody that everybody is helping. What a mess. But today the story has changed. She's transformed from being the patient now to the physician. She went through the whole process. She survived. And so today, she can tell a cancer patient, you can survive this. So is it possible, beloved, that what you call a mess right now, the situation you call a mess right now, is actually a progress? Oh, I don't think you understand. You don't understand what I'm talking about. How can someone who is not a doctor, who didn't go to study medicine, now somewhere along the line is able to counsel someone who is going through cancer without going to study medicine? That means, beloved, at the time she was going through that experience that she was calling a mess, she was making a progress. She was getting more knowledge. She was getting more knowledge that will become useful for people who will go through that situation without having to go to school for it. Knowledge is power. Am I making sense to you? So what you are going through right now, you call it a mess. Is it possible that it's a progress? You see, beloved, there is an empathy that you have when you are in ministry. An empathy. When you have been genuinely called by God into ministry. You see, some people don't have the capacity to even understand other people's pains or challenges. They don't have the capacity. It's so difficult for people to understand the depths to which you are suffering until they too experience the same suffering. If you understand what I've been trying to say since morning, shout hallelujah. I just want to be sure that I'm carrying you along. If you understand, shout a glorious hallelujah. When I think of people that God uses in ministry, like I said, I realized that God uses people who have been through very challenging and trying experiences. You are called to the cause because you are connected to the crisis. You are called to the cause because you have a connection to the crisis. You can relate with it. God will pick people that you and I will never even consider picking. If we are in God's place to pick, we will not pick them. But they are the ones that God will pick. Why would God choose Aaron as a high priest? As an intercessor for the nation of Israel? Why? I could never understand why God would pick Aaron as a young believer. My understanding did not come until I mature as a Christian. I couldn't understand. If you're a good Bible reader, you will understand that after the children of Israel left Egypt, Moses was their leader. Aaron was the second in command. Am I making sense to you? So Moses at one point said, look, I need to go and have a meeting with God. Aaron, second in command, you be in charge while I'm going to have some meeting with God, and I will come back. But make sure that everybody is doing right, everything is safe, make sure the camp is okay. And while Moses went on a meeting with God, in that meeting, God said, look, I'm going to make Aaron the high priest. I'm going to make it. God was so detailed. He was so into it that he had to make special uniform for Aaron. Design his clothes and everything that he'll be wearing and everything. And then come Moses with Aaron's garment, fully designed in his head, and coming to give Aaron the news that this is your confirmation. This is what God has said. He has even made a garment for you. And as he was descending the mountain, he saw the whole camp of Israel dancing naked to a calf. And Aaron, who was supposed to be the leader, the one in command, was also dancing with them naked. The first thing that will come to the mind of anyone like Moses coming down from the mountain and after giving instruction that they should make Aaron the high priest, will have said, God made a mistake. No, this is a mistake. I'm sure God didn't foresee this. He didn't, no. I need to go back to God and say, God, you made a mistake. By the time I got there, the same person who said I should go and make the high priest, he was their leader. He was the one even leading the rebellion. He was the one dancing to the calf. How could that one be the high priest? Am I making sense to you? But God chose Aaron for a reason. You know why? Because God needed a man who will be patient and understanding. Someone who will not be judgmental, because he too went through it. Someone who will not be condescending and who will not have the feeling of self-righteousness, because he himself knew he was not righteous. God understands that in the life of the people of Israel, that Aaron is to be their high priest. There will be many challenging moments on the road to destiny. They will fall in and out of sin. There is no progress without a mess. And from time to time, they will need to confess their sins to Aaron, who will now intercede for them in front of him. Now, if Aaron had been a self-righteous man, there is no way he will understand their sin. And so he will become unapproachable to the nation of Israel, to the Israelites, to go and tell him about their sin, because he will not understand. How can we tell him? So God had to pick someone who will understand their situation, because he himself had been there. Let somebody shout hallelujah. You want a new building from the old building. I want a new building on that same ground where we have the old building, and I want it as quickly as possible. One thing first must know is that the old building must come down for them to have the new building. By the time they bring down the old building, the old ground will be a mess. Am I making sense to you? The old ground will be, and anybody that comes and says, the old place has become a mess, come and say, the old place is just so dirty. But beloved, there can be no progress without a mess. If you want the old new building on the old building ground, first there must be a mess before the progress. Shout a glorious hallelujah. I wonder if there's anyone here this morning that God is doing something in your life and you are looking at with the wrong lenses and you are calling it a mess, while God is looking at it and calling it progress. Is it possible that what we are calling a mess is actually progress? as far as God is concerned. Come on, encourage somebody this one and say it is well.
It is well.
Most times when you look at your situation and see the way things are, it's very easy to come to the conclusion that your life is a mess. But I tell you this morning, you are actually a progress. Tell somebody you are not a mess but a progress. You are not a mess but a progress. You see, the problem is this: you are failing to see the progress in the mess. You fail to see the progress in the mess. The mess is all part of the progress. And it's all about how you look at it. It is a mess, yes. But again, I tell you, it's all part of the progress. That three people is all part of the progress. It's a mess, but it is progress. Nothing has to change for it to be progress except the way you see it. If you are looking for something to change, for you to call it progress, no, nothing will change. Only the way you choose to look at it. Okay, let me give you an example. When God, at the inception of this ministry, told us we are going to have a land, a virgin land, right in the middle of Surulere, everybody thought it was impossible. Where are we going to get the land from? The whole place has been used up. And then we started searching because God has said we will find. So I believe we will find. And then one day I was brought to this land, virgin, no building, no nothing. And God told me this is the land I'm talking about. But when you look at the land, it was a mess. It was a complete mess. It was a place that everybody on the street would come and they used as their toilet. It was flooded. It was full of water. And when I brought people here to say this is the land, they said, "Sir, are you sure?" Because to them, it's a mess. But I didn't see the mess. I see progress. From what they are calling a mess, I can see progress. I'm looking at the mess. I'm seeing buildings springing up. I'm seeing the land being cleared. I'm seeing the whole place being leveled. I'm seeing us putting structures. So I'm not looking at beyond the mess. Am I making sense to you? Without the mess, inside the mess is the progress. Coming from not having any place of our own and now to not having this according to the word of God, it's progress. But they call it a mess. Let's look at Luke 22, verse 31. Luke 22, verse 31. Then the Lord said, this is our Lord Jesus Christ, "Simon, Simon, listen. Satan has demanded to have you apostles for himself. He wants to separate you from me as a farmer separates wheat from husks." The English Standard Version says, "Simon, Simon, behold, Satan demanded to have you that he might sift you like wheat." when I look at that statement, sift you like wheat, I look at the word sift and I said to myself, I'm not sure to be sifted is a bad thing. I'm not sure to be sifted is a bad thing. Now, in some cereal plants, such as rice, barley, oats, and wheat, the ripe seed is surrounded by thin, dry, scaly leaves and other impurities that form around the grain. What they now do is to sift the wheat to remove the scaly leaves and other worthless things. In other words, when they are sifting, they are removing the worthless things. Am I making sense to you? So I'm saying Satan wants to sift Peter. Sift is put a fine or loose substance through a sieve so as to remove lumps or large particles and isolate that which is important from the one that is not important. Separate them. So when Jesus said Satan meant to sift you, I'm asking myself, sifting is not really that bad. Then it occurred to me that could Jesus be using Satan to demolish what has to be demolished in your life so that he can build a new thing? Could Jesus actually be allowing Satan to get away with what he wants to do in the life of Peter so that he, Jesus, can build a new thing in his life? Jesus could have prayed against the sifting, but he didn't pray against the sifting. Anytime something bad happens in the country, if I come across anyone, they will say, but Pastor, why did God allow it to happen? Anytime you want to explain your life by one piece of a puzzle, you will fail. You know why? Because you cannot explain a puzzle by just one piece. But when you take one piece and add it all together with the other pieces, then you begin to understand where God is taking you to. I don't know who I'm talking to this morning, but I'm sure I'm talking to somebody. Satan has desired to have you, but I pray for you. I pray for you, not that he will not have access to you, not that he will not have you, not that the sifting will not take place. So what are you praying for me for, sir? When it's not that you are praying that the sifting will not take place, not that he will not have me. Jesus did not pray for Peter not to be hurt. He did not pray for Peter not to suffer. He did not pray for Peter not to be upset. He did not pray for Peter not to cause. You know, Peter had a temper. He did not pray for Peter not to curse. He didn't pray for his morality, but he prayed for his mentality. He said, I pray that your faith will not fail thee. He didn't even pray that Peter will not fail. In fact, if you read down the line, Jesus told him, he said, you are going to fail 3 times before morning. He didn't pray that he will not fail. He said, I'm not praying that you will not fail. I'm not praying that you won't be messy. I'm not praying you won't suffer pain. But I pray that your faith will not fail you. I want to ask a question this morning. Can you have faith in the middle of a mess? Is it possible for you to have faith in the middle of what you call a mess? Because if you cannot have faith in the middle of a mess, you should close the church down. There is no reason for the church. There is no reason why we are gathering. There is no reason why we are worshiping God. There is no reason why we should be here. If we cannot have faith that no matter what is going on in my life right now, I know that my God is able. That regardless what the arrow of the devil is firing at me, I know that my God is able to keep me standing. It's like the saying, though he slay me, yet shall I trust him. If you cannot have faith in the middle of your mess, then we need to question your Christianity and ask, are you really born again? If you cannot have faith while things are going rough in your family and trust that God is able, why are you in church? Why do you call yourself a Christian? Am I making sense to you? This morning I'm trying to make you see the value of trusting God in messy places, in messy times. To just believe that despite the negative things that are happening around you, God will see you through. Tell your neighbor, God will see you through. The children are misbehaving. You lost your job. You are not yet married. No fruit of the womb. Unemployment. Bills are rising. No money for the school fees. Landlord is complaining. You have problem with your parents. You have problem with your boss. There is a decline of sales in your business. You are experiencing different challenges. There is emotional breakdown. And yet, in the middle of all this, you are still able to say, Lord, I trust you. Lord, I trust you. From what I've said so far, you are beginning to see the progress from the mess. Your eyes is moving now from the mess to the progress. You are beginning to see that yes, truly my life might actually be in a mess right now, but then there is a progress. God is making progress. I'm making progress. I may not understand how it's working out. I may not understand how it's going to be. I'm seeing some pieces of the puzzle, but I've not seen everything complete, so I cannot put them all together. But the Bible says that God works all things together for the good of those who love him and who are called according to the purpose of his plan. So meaning, beloved, even if I'm in a mess right now, at the end of the day, there shall be progress. If you believe so, shout a glorious hallelujah. Do you know this morning what you call a mess is a proof that you are under construction? Tell somebody, I'm under construction. Have you ever been to a construction site? It's always a mess, but there is progress. But there is progress. It's a mess, but there is progress. It's a mess, but it's progress. It's a mess, but it's progress. It's a mess, but it's progress. Shout a glorious hallelujah. From pulling down the old building to putting on a new building, you're going to see some mess, but progress. Because we are moving from the small building to the new building. It's progress. But the process of getting to the new building done, we have to create some mess by pulling down the small building, but it's progress because you're going to get a new building. Let somebody shout hallelujah. So you are seeing a mess. People are seeing mess, but it's progress because God is about to do a new thing. God is doing a new thing. Tell them what God is doing a new thing. Type it, I'm under construction. I'm under construction. Nothing may seem right now. But I have a feeling. Oh yes, I have a feeling. Oh yes, I have a feeling. I have a feeling that everything's gonna be all right. I have a feeling that everything's gonna be all right. I have a feeling that everything's gonna be all right. Be all right. Be all right. Be all right. Sing it loud, beloved. I have a feeling this morning. I have a feeling things gonna be all right.